Unfortunately, climate action, environmental protection, and biodiversity conservation are not vote bank material. Hi, this is Dia Mirza, and you're watching me on India Times.
Dia Mirza, actor, eco-investor, Goodwill Ambassador UNEP, UN Secretary General Advocate for SDC, Wildlife Trust of India, IFAW Ambassador. On World Earth Day, we welcome Dia Mirza on India Times to speak more about environment and wildlife conservation. Hi Dia, welcome to India Times. First things first, what inspired you to become an environmentalist?
So Saloni, I was very lucky. I grew up in the lap of nature. My interaction with the natural world was something that my school fostered. It was fostered at home. So climbing trees, plucking fruits off tree, watching birds build nests, discovering the names of flora and fauna, and just spending a lot of time in the open and in nature. And I think it was in my early 20s when I started engaging with these people, going to India's forests and interacting and engaging with the communities that work for the protection of forests. And I realized how in a society that is progressing and is moving towards a model of development which is Western and is perhaps largely responsible for, the crisis that we find ourselves in today, which is the triple planetary crisis of climate change, of pollution and biodiversity loss. I felt that I needed to step in and to kind of inform and educate myself more so that I could share that with more people. And hopefully through my voice and my platform, together, collectively, we could all learn to care for and protect that what supports our lives and our livelihoods and our peace.
So in your view, Dia, what role should government and grassroots movements play in tackling environmental issues?
I think the first and the most important thing is that it needs to become a priority. I think every government, state and central government needs to not just have token measures to sustain the health of the environment, but has to genuinely and radically shift the way we perceive environmental protection. It cannot be perceived as obstructionism to development. The model of development has to change. I think in my experience over the last decade that I've had with all of my interactions with government agencies and civil society organizations that are working on the ground, I think the one big takeaway for me has been that there is very little to no coordination between agencies in our country. Saloni, you and I and everybody who's possibly going to watch or read this piece knows that the problems of climate change and pollution and biodiversity loss are more evident today than perhaps they ever have been, right? It's almost like right now we're talking to each other, we're in the midst of a heat wave where temperatures are going to soar beyond what they've possibly ever been, right? And so that means there will be more forest fires. That means there will be more drought. And this is not something that is a passing inconvenience. It leads to loss of life. It leads to poor health. It leads to loss of infrastructure.
How do you approach denialism as far as environmental issues are concerned?
I also think that there's no perfect model of sustainability. I think every individual who is trying should be respected for trying. And there are different ways of being sustainable. I mean, whether you choose to have only cold water bucket baths, or you choose to eat mostly, plant-based meals, which is vegetarian meals, or you choose to plant more trees, whatever that choice may be, it's one that must be celebrated and encouraged, and more people need to follow suit. The waste pickers, they know what picking and managing our waste does to them. So I think the deniers are really the ones who are sitting with privilege.
On World Earth Day, what are some practical steps individuals can take in making a difference?
Well, the theme of this World Earth Day is a very important one, which is to beat plastic pollution. And I think the biggest aspect of plastic pollution that we're all trying to beat is the rampant use of single-use plastics. So a great service that every individual can do and make for our earth is to refuse single-use plastics. So avoid consuming beverages and foods, whether it's cleaning agents or detergents, or it could be anything. Try and avoid using single-use plastics. There are many conservation organizations in the country. If you, whatever your skill may be, you can contribute with your skill. If you're a writer, you can write. If you're a photographer, you can photograph. If you are a journalist, you can inquire and do important, investigative pieces that not only cover what is happening in, whether it is poaching or it's loss of forest cover, or, there's all kinds of very, very integral aspects that need to be represented and spoken about in the media. Or if you're a lawyer, whatever your skill may be, I think each and every one of us can use that to support wildlife conservation.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to get more involved in wildlife conservation?
Whenever I'm celebrating a birthday or an anniversary or a special occasion, I grow trees in people's names. For my 40th birthday, instead of having a lavish party,
you were 40?
Huh?
You were 40?
I'm 40. Saloni, I'm 42 now.
What?
Instead of having a big party, I decided to, donate 40 lakhs in the name of our Van Rakshaks and send that money to the forest rangers who had lost their lives during COVID.
So, Diya, what are the most pressing issues that India is facing as far as environment is concerned?
So, I think what needs to be, and that's something that I'm always trying to wrap my head around, right? Unfortunately, climate action, environmental protection, and biodiversity conservation are not vote bank material.
What are your hopes and goals for animal welfare movement?
Wonderful wins. I think the most powerful and most incredible project that the world is now acknowledging and celebrating is Project Tiger. I've had the privilege of collaborating with and working with some of the founders and pioneers of this project.
Any happy stories that you have had while you were protecting an endangered species or habitat?
The life and survival of the tiger with the protection of the forest and the understanding that Jangal Nadi ki maa hai. Basically, the forest is the mother, birthplace of rivers, and tiger forests are the birthing grounds of our rivers. The fact that India boasts of the number of tigers that we've managed to bring back from literally the brink of extinction, and they're surviving and they're thriving. But alongside that, there are new challenges. But I think the biggest celebration is the success story of Project Tiger, on how nature is the most incredible and extraordinary self-repairing system. You give nature this much and she gives back in abundance, and always ensures your well-being, our well-being, and our health.